Greetings, I'm Enraged Eggplant and welcome to Dungeons and GURPS. In this video I'll tell you how I would make a D&D paladin in GURPS. While the paladin is one of my favorite D&D classes, I feel that it lacks an identity. You could make a righteous fighter that worships a lawful good deity and have a decent magicless paladin. Alternatively, you could make a combat-oriented cleric and you would be as good as paladin as an actual paladin would, if not better. All the paladin's class features could work as clerical spells and nothing would have changed. Let's talk about who a paladin is. In D&D, a paladin is a righteous knight devoted to a lawful good deity with some magical abilities designed to counteract evil. A paladin's spellcasting works identically to clerical spellcasting. But if you remember other D&D classes, you might remember other divine spellcasting classes such as a Favored Soul. Why can't a combat-oriented Favored Soul become a paladin? This is a question I thought about when defining how paladins should work in my setting. Eventually, I just said that the paladin is not a mechanical concept, but just a name. You can build a character with no divine abilities, but call him a paladin if he follows an appropriate deity. You can build a cleric and call him a paladin. You can build a favored soul and call him a paladin. The exact mechanics do not matter. You can give him clerical spellcasting, favored soul spellcasting, or just take certain abilities with a divine power modifier. It doesn't matter. Speaking of abilities, the paladin has some class features that need conversion. Detect Evil is just a Seek Evil spell. I treat Smite Evil as a spell as well, just a follow-up crushing attacks that only work against unholy beings. I must repeat that you do not have to purchase the actual spellcasting abilities such as Sorceress or Clerical Empowerment to learn these spells. Divine Grace is luck with Divine and Defensive. Divine Health is immunity to disease with a Divine Power modifier. Lay on Hands is healing with Divine Injuries only and Faith healing. Various auras can be found in Pyramid 319. The Special Mount is another signature ability. You should represent it as an ally with a Divine Power modifier and summonable, plus 100%. Being a mounted fighter really changes the way you approach combat in GURPS, as mounted combat is quite detailed and has many nuances. If you enjoy this extra complexity, I will link an episode of the Only the Parts You Need podcast devoted to the detailed explanation of mounted combat and everything related to it. If you do not like mounted combat, just don't take this ability, no one is forcing you. These and many other paladin abilities, including the ones inspired by the Pathfinder paladin, exist as write-ups on my blog that I will link in the description. If you'd like to use a template, consider using the 250-point Holy Warrior template from GURPS Dungeon Fantasy 1 Adventurers, one of its many variants from GURPS Dungeon Fantasy 7 Clerics, or the 150-point Paladin template that I made. The link is in the description. If you'd like to have a Holy Warrior of another alignment, you may find inspiration in the Paladin variants that already exist in D&D and cover the entire alignment table. Chaotic Evil Paladins are called Anti-Paladins or Paladins of Slaughter. The former is described in Dragon Magazine 312, and the variant also exists in Pathfinder. The latter is described in Unearthed Arcana. Chaotic Neutral Paladins are called Anarchs. They are described in Dragon Magazine 310. Chaotic Good Paladins are called Avengers or Paladins of Freedom. The former is described in Dragon Magazine 310, the latter is described in Unearthed Arcana. Neutral Evil Paladins are called Corruptors, described in Dragon Magazine 312. Lawful Evil Paladins are called Despots, or Paladins of Tyranny. The former is described in Dragon Magazine 312, the latter is described in Unearthed Arcana. Lawful Evil Paladins are called Enforcers, described in Dragon Magazine 310. True Neutral Paladins are called Incarnates, described in Dragon Magazine 310. and neutral good paladins are called sentinels, described again in Dragons Magazine 310. Speaking of alignment, this is going to be the topic of the next video. As for this video, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.